defense also win number 16, B. McDonough. And at center, number
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Super Rink in Blaine, Minnesota, where we're playing in the North American Female Elite Showcase. The starters have been announced, the anthem has been sung, and it's time to play some hockey. Team Minnesota rolled this morning to a substantial victory over Team North America, and the Western Selects also had a game this morning.
Apologize about the audio
difficulties. We were only able to bring you the action from yesterday or this morning's affair. So, all 5 skaters for Team Minnesota to start this game are part of the 3 tournament teams from the Rose Series. So, kind of a cool little nod to the past as Christian gains the zone and Neuer goes to work. Zoe Neuer feels some pressure from Caitlin Bump. Christian on the line, plays down where Donahue goes after Bump. Christian again, it gets pressed at the blue, and they break the zone. Cross ice over to Brinley Bundy. Bundy plays indirect, where it's intercepted by Caitlin Bump again. A nice cross ice pass from Brinley Bundy over to Emmy Donahue. She's on her forehand. She rips the shot! Emmy Donahue uses her screen perfectly. Off the Bundy pass, she shoots high and hard. The defenseman can't make a stop, and I don't know if the goalie ever saw that one, but it pushed the twine back, and it's a 1-0 start. We are 41 seconds into this affair as Emmy Donahue scores a huge goal. So 1-0 Minnesota. Line change comes. It's Nolander on the right, Stevens left, and Preston wins back to Ellie Hardwick. The Western Selects just puck is broken out by Adelie and then gained by Olivia Filson with all red as Piper Nyberg challenges her, and they both take a hard crash. Nyberg looks to be a little dazed.
Minnesota, number 33, Emmy Donahue. Assistant number 2, Christian, and number 96, Brinley Bundy.
There it is. So Christian and Bundy on their first shift produce a good puck for Emmy Donahue, and she knows what to do from there. So cross ice pass from Preston to Stevens, just in the nick of time as 3 Western players converge. Brinley Bundy gathers. She pulls wide. It's a 1-on-1 as Caitlin Bump plays her wide. Bundy looks to maintain on the near wall. Things are jamming up, and Bump goes the other way with it. Ada Lee gathers the puck and chips it out. A very cheeky breakout gathered by Zins on the forehand. Zins goes backhand. She carries up the near side, tries to play up to Prosser, and it's an air ball. Again, Bundy with some pressure from Lily Ardwin. And the puck is deep in Minnesota's zone for the second time. Again, it's Zins to Prosser. They break the blue, and Neuer is there with some pressure. A puck errantly played back to Minnesota, sneaks through. And it's a 2-on-2 for Western with Neuer coming in to help. Neuer plays to Prosser. Prosser can't get the handle on this one, but she gets it out. Oh, a D-to-D attempt. Tipped by Volkers. Just can't quite gain possession, and Western is having a little bit of a better time playing in the offensive zone, but really not controlling the puck in the offensive zone as Volkers drags her own toe. Preston in pursuit. It's Ariel Zong who plays the puck out of the zone, and Emmy Donahue, the lone goal scorer, goes to work on the wall. Preston is in. Playing these back, but number 11 is Talia Hovespian. They announced her as the silent assassin as Christian breaks up what could have been a 2-on-1. And the puck is stolen by Maeve McDonough. Preston finds a little room to work as Talia gives her a little and gathers the puck and plays across to Hardwick. Hardwick over to Donahue. Donahue smartly plays it below the goal line, and Maeve McDonough gets a change for Elena Nolander. Hovespian tips one in, but they're going to call the icing off as Hardwick gathers. "11 on 11, like a football game, but it's Talia and Ellie tying up behind the net. So while these teams are doing well to play back and possess, their next move is usually to throw it in the mix, and that hasn't produced a lot of quality chances so far. We have one shot in the game, and it's the lone mark. Currently, the Stanley Cup is going on, and notice that Edmonton has an early 2-0 lead. The Stanley Cup might come out tonight, but for these girls, the championship won't be played until tomorrow. One of the teams in the other side of the semifinal game has punched their ticket, and that was the Manitoba All-Stars, as we receive a update from one of our NHL insiders here. It's now 3-1. So Edmonton maintaining a 2-goal lead in an important Stanley Cup Game 4. But that's not as important as what we have going on here. So we'll stay focused. So Nyberg comes to pinch a rimmed puck. She plays back to Preston through traffic. Preston's shot is blocked, but it finds Stevens is able to collect the loose change, and she puts it off the goaltender's pads. Goaltender is Austin Kuzminka. We're going with that. So Kuzminka with her first save of the game. Nyberg steps up. It's a 2-on-0 with Evelyn Volkers coming back into the play. Shot attempt by Aria Filson, but she doesn't. She picks it up and plays around to Stevens on the near side. Stevens gets her feet moving, gets her head up, does a nice little cutback. Kind of plays behind Volkers. Volkers has to stop and come back to it. So we're going to try again. Nyberg up the wall. It's Stevens. She's got Neuer ahead of her. She carries across. Then I think she plays to Neuer. Neuer is going to take this one back and try again. Zins is going to hold. And now we go. So where you saw Team Minnesota Black, nationally elite, breaking the blue line with 3 or 4 players like an NHL team, it's gotten a little bit awkward as they're coming into the zone one at a time. They're going to have to do better. This might be one of those games where you get an early goal and it hangs for a long time, as neither of these teams creating a lot of quality chances. There's just not a lot of time and space out here right now, but Zins gets swept off her feet and the puck is played low to bump. Neuer tries to get it. Maeve McDonough gets it. Zoe Neuer has the puck. She plays back to Palmer Prosser. Prosser plays to Zins at the blue line. Long shot tipped left of the net. And the breakout play that gets you a line change. Some of the players have commented how on point the music is. Hockey Hub's definitely renewed their Spotify.
Go Black!
Return of the Black as we get underway here in the offensive zone as puck is quickly played out. Christian going to pick it up with Lee in pursuit. She wheels, tries to find a weak side option. Volkers was coming to the middle. Puck gathered up here by Bryn Host. as she finds a way through. And now it's Brinley Bundy from Lakeville. Lightning fast defenseman. Creates a lot of offense from her from the back seat. You got to watch out for some of these girls. They're sleepers back there. They're like cars that are way faster than they seem. So again, West with the rim. Christian does a little alley-oop. Tries to play to the middle where she's upended by Olivia Filson. Christian stays with Filson, and she absolutely pins her to the wall. That was a collision, folks. Preston is here. She's trying to put a little pressure on and win themselves a puck. Christian smartly goes for the change before they review the tape, and it's a cross-ice pass. Just missed for Nolander. Nolander put away a nice cross-ice pass in our game earlier in a hard pass right Royal Road, but through the paint, tapped it right in. This one is just outside the reaches. Nyberg is on the wrong side of the silent assassin, but still manages to keep the play from happening as she picks off another puck. Minnesota's just having a hard time getting things going, although they have had 3 quality chances and have the majority of the shots. Stevens tries to flip her feet around, and Western's doing a nice job of packing it in. They're playing a box plus one defense, limiting the outside shooting smartly. As Western picks up a puck behind the net and is easily disarmed by Hardwick. She was setting up some kind of a spinning pass, and Hardwick again says, "My puck." She plays back to Nolander on the far side. Nolander's got a puck stuck to the wall. And the puck goes back from Ariel Zong all the way up to Aria Filson. Christian comes in, picks up the puck. She throws far side. Christian plays to Donahue. Donahue's a little bit of alone time, but she was at too sharp of an angle to reach the net. But a good breakout. Zins is back out here, and she's playing forward now. So she does a little bit of forward, a little bit of D. Christian gains a puck. She pulls around. She carries in a little further. She's trying to set up that backdoor pass, but Maeve McDonough's tied up in front, so nothing doing. It's like an icing attempt, but I don't think that's going to make it. It's like laying up on a par 3. Donahue gets another cross-ice pass. She tries to center, but there's a reason we avoid the middle of the ice. Very busy. The far wall is generally where we try to stretch the weak side passes away from the players' benches, which are kind of like beehives with players coming and going constantly. Lots of danger. Bundy tries to pick up. She gets intercepted in front, but puck slides safely across the face of the net. We'll talk about our goalie. It's Aricia Gracia as Christian jumps in the play here. Donahue chips in. Christian tries to play through. She ties up and buys some line change time. Addie Preston covers for the Christian as she's out of the play. Preston jumps back in the offense as Western again ices the puck. So fourth icing attempt, third ice of the game for Western. We appreciate the Western Selects for coming all the way up to Minnesota for the NAIF tournament. Minnesota has a mood like nothing can stop me. Puck back to Nyberg. Long shot. Played around the wall. So Western is definitely using the rimmed, or, you know, they're using the curvature of this geography. They're definitely sticking pucks out as a centering attempt of Volker's tails wide. So Minnesota's picking up some chances here, and Western's going to have to pick up their intensity. Hardwick takes a long shot. Dead center on the goalie. So she saw that one coming in. So Team Minnesota stands pat with Preston at center. She's doing a little bop. Volker's a big shooter here, 63. Puck is one clean back from Preston to Volkers to Nyberg. Long shot by Nyberg produces a rebound, but Preston is tied up. Preston, a very dangerous player in the paint. She is pretty good about putting pucks away in front, as she scored 2 goals in the first period of the Cowgirl shootout against Toronto Pro Hockey with very similar plays. Long shot, rebound. Preston's there with a long, strong stick to tap it in. Western's done their homework well as puck comes out to neutral and Hardwick brings it up right away. Stevens battles for puck. She's with Newer. Newer gets possession. Her attempt to get past Lee, Ada Lee, is fruitful. Stevens again tries a wide pull. She's on her backhand. She plays all the way across to Nolander, and Nolander cuts back across. So the girls are not just jamming pucks. They're using all the lanes, but they're also using the layers of the ice to create controlled offensive zone entries. And those controlled entries and lengthened possessions allow them to tire out their opponent and get more quality chances, which lead to goals. Puck is again shot out. Christian is told right away as she spins out. She plays up to Stevens. Stevens dumps it in. You heard the man. Western is offsides. They called an icing on it, but actually it was just offsides. So if you're just joining us, on the left side of your screen are the Western Selects. They're composed of players from California, Arizona, New Mexico, probably Wyoming, mostly Western states. They're wearing red jerseys with black trim and white numbers. The Minnesota girls, black National Elite, on the right side of your screen, as we're just under a minute here in the first, with their black, exclusive black jerseys with white and purple trim, and some winning ways. Jinx anything, but I don't think that these black jerseys have ever lost a game. Preston, back to Christian. Christian curls on the silent assassin. She tries to play back to Bundy, but they've got the middle of the ice covered. So Western doing a nice job of taking away our defense. We do well to keep pucks low. With 12 seconds left, we got an odd man rush here. It's McDonough across the center. Preston comes home watching the game. It's here. We're checking to see who they're going to play next. They've got orange cowboy hats, so a little bit late to that trend, but I'm happy to award all of our viewers with a special interview with celebrity goaltender, and it's Kayla Eaton. So Kayla was the goalie with Team Minnesota at the Cowgirls shootout, where they won 7 games, and I believe only allowed 2 goals during that time. So what is a special memory? First, greet our viewers at home.
Hello.
Tell us a special memory you have from Nashville with the Team Minnesota.
Oh, I have so many, but probably either obviously winning it or hanging out at the hotel with them.
Yeah, some special time. So what kind of activities did you do while you were in Nashville?
Like running around, hanging out at the pool area. Also off the ice, like just playing games, listening to music, all of that.
Awesome. So we're gonna do it in the last 30 seconds we have with you here in school. Favorite color? Anybody at home?
Probably all the Minnesota viewers just hanging or cheering on your team.
Awesome. So Kayla is going to be podcast. Kayla, a special treat for our viewers at home, getting to know Team Minnesota players and their alumni. Back to the action in the second period. Holvespian with a nice touch pass to the middle to create for Lee. Now it's Wu, and a shot off the side of the net. We call that a grandma goal. All the grandmas think that one went in. Wu gets out in front of Aricia. She can't quite get the handle on it, but she plays back where our center is coming out to do the wings work. I think there's some confusion on responsibilities in our D zone here right now, as Volkers is chasing number 11 around. Normally our wings would be covering their defense, but I think there might have been a little confusion as to who's playing what position, as there often is in the first minute of the period. Turn down for hockey. They can't have the music on during the game as Western pokes through. Bundy's got her hands full here as 98 versus 98. 98 gets around. A rebound is amazingly saved by Aricia. That is the Wells Fargo save of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Team Minnesota flips here at the beginning of the second period, just playing uncharacteristically as number 98 from the Western selects. That's Olivia Filson, who we've heard her name a lot as she continues here in the corner. Red helmet, black gloves. It's an interesting combo. And a short side save is made by Ari. So, huge moment in the game. Pivotal as Minnesota's able to maintain their lead. Christian Hardwick paired up here with Newer. Back to Christian. She tries to play off the glass but can't quit. The referee makes a kick save as McDonough plays on the wall. They're able to match the speed of Minnesota as Silent Assassin, Talia, picks up a puck. She plays to her friend Morgan Ma. And this line is doing a little damage. Another centering attempt to Ma. And it's Wu. Wu's play intercepted momentarily by Newer. West is doing well to maintain the zone, maintain possession. They're staying around the outside. Minnesota's kind of packed in. They're doing more of the Canadian box one, as you'd call it is. Hardwick takes a spill down in the corner, but regains her feet, regains the puck. Newer tries to play past the defense Gasca. Zoe Newer is loose. She cuts to the front, hits the brakes. She's hauled down. They're going to whistle an infraction here. They don't have a number 9 on their roster. The coach for Western Select historically has been very emotional with the referees, and it's never really helped them much, but he continues with that as he argues the takedown. But we've all got a job to do. See if I can zoom in here. Oh, there it is. Respect the refs. Okay, here we go. We're back. Power play for Team Minnesota. See if they can get something going. Preston set up at the dot. Palmer Prosser on her right. Zoe Newer back at defense with number 96, Brinley Bundy. We're giving them a timeout to talk about what's going on. Okay, so, and we're back. Preston plays back to Volker. She tries to shoot from outside the dot lane, and it's shin pads. Talia, they try to rim. The rim play is to Talia, so now everybody knows what they're trying to do. Shocker. Bundy stops behind the net. This is a very NHL type breakout. I love it. Newer plays up. It's off the skate of Preston. Off the stick of Palmer. It's Volkers. It's back to Preston. 2-minute hooking penalty is called as Newer jumps in on the short-handed play that they're trying to work. And Prosser plays one back to the top player from Western. And it's a goal. It looks like the Talia went backhand to forehand. She played it off the side of the net, and I wouldn't be surprised if it bounced off Ari's pad. So just the third goal in 4 games that Minnesota has allowed, but the first time that they've been tied in the second period in this tournament. So really some strange circumstances. Maybe the delay attempt by Western's coach worked out. He seems pretty pleased with himself. As Minnesota wins the faceoff. Back, it's Christian. She fires up to Nolander. Nolander tries a touch pass, but it's kind of more of a dump it. Zoe's alone in front. She pulls back. Hits a shot. Short side, glove side. Oh yeah, boom, 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 boom.
Yes,
Zoe Newer says, let's play hockey. It's a 2-on-1. I think the goaltender might have been cheating over a little bit, expecting a pass, as Zoe's known for her playmaking prowess, but they are who we thought they were. This team Minnesota does not like to back down. Never back down. Never what, Kayla?
Never give up.
Awesome. Kayla's going to join me here for some of the fun little banter we do here on the Minnesota Broadcasting Network, brought to you by Bundy Communications.
Western Selects. Number 11, Ellie Hardwick. Assisted by number 5.
We don't have a number 5, but that's okay. Play on. So, a short-lived victory for the Western Selects as they took a 1-1 tie.
Minnesota. Number 8, Zoe Hurd.
Yeah, Zoe!
Elena Nolander. And number 12, Addison Preston.
There you go. Nolander and Preston pick up the assists on the power play goal after giving up a shorthanded goal. So they kept them out there. They trusted them, and mistakes were made. That's part of the game. Make mistakes fast, learn fast, play fast, as the puck is played quickly to neutral. Adriana Stevens tries to cut the D to D. Skate and get a shot are the instructions from the coach of Western, and she does just that. Off the side of the net. Dangerous play. Centering attempt is to Zoe. Zoe's got a lot of speed, and Talia's back on defense. She angles out, comes in with a one-handed stick check. As play is played across to Christian. She tries to cut back and rips a shot. Low shot off the pads, producing a rebound. It's swept aside, and now it's Bundy at the blue line. Christian changes for Zins as the puck lands in the baseball glove here for goaltender Austin Kosminka. Kosminka's first save after the second goal. We're just under 9 minutes here in the second period at the semifinal game from Pool B. Sorry, number 1 team from Pool B is the Minnesota Girls Black. Number 2 team from Pool A is the Western Selects, but they look like a formidable opponent. Girls are excited to have some good competition come here to Minnesota. It's my first time ever seeing the Western Selects here in Minnesota. I've seen them play in about 4 other states and provinces. So welcome to the West Coast. As puck is fired out and chipped to Ellie Hardwick, she redirects that one to her father. Played back in by Jay. Fans are packed up and packed in here at Rink 4. Allie Zins holds the line. Preston gets her pass blocked. Zins can't hold, and McDonough's back to retrieve. Maeve plays a nice pass over to Emmy Donahue. Emmy's got some speed. She tries a drop pass to Preston. Preston can't get the handle. Preston tries to fight for it back. Players are stacking up on the near side. Some frustration shown by Minnesota. Despite the large crowds, it is very quiet in this game. Donahue to Hardwick. Hardwick sends one up to Neuer. Neuer is going to go 1-on-5. And she takes it well in with Zins pinching down. Emmy Donahue stays over the top, but only momentarily as the puck gets carried out by Western. Ma, centering attempt, shut down by Brinley Bundy. Again, there's 2 Filsons on this team, and that's why I think we've been hearing the names a lot. Aria Filson is the lone goal scorer in this game for the Western Selects, as she goes to work here on the wall as I battle some technological functions. Sometimes you got to be 2 hands on your stick, guys. Let's go. Zins to Prosser, as Kayla Eaton says, always 2 hands on her stick. Well, I watched you play earlier today, and you rarely had 2 hands on your stick.
I wonder why.
Palmer Prosser crosses the blue. She drops to Preston. Preston walks in, rips a shot. It's redirected and off the shoulder of the goaltender, Austin Kosminka. Back to Hardwick. Hardwick over to Nyberg. Nyberg spins. She puts a nice shot on. Rebound attempt by Prosser. They tie her up in front. Puck is gained by Western. Western intercepted by Preston. She goes forehand. She cuts back. We were a little offside there, but I don't think they saw it. Preston continues through and tries to shoot. It's been a fun weekend of hockey. Lots of grandparents in attendance and watching at home. I met Allison Prosser's father, Mark, yesterday. That was a treat. Adriana Stevens comes in on a loose puck in front and tries to chip in. I see the grandparents of Addie Preston. I see the grandparents of Emmy Donahue. Her grandfather's here to watch today. Evelyn Volker's grandparents are here. And even though it's Father's Day weekend, I do want to take a quick moment to shout out all the wives that are covering all the extracurriculars for the other kids so that their parents can coach or enjoy the game or cocktail with their friends here in beautiful Blaine, Minnesota. Pressure applied by Nolander. 2-1 game here with just 5 minutes left in the second half. So 1-0 Minnesota off of an early Emmy Donahue goal assisted by Christian and Bundy. We had a shorthanded goal by Talia Hovespian, the silent assassin, as she tries to make a play on Nyberg. Nyberg peels it back. She's got eyes up ice. She's got a wide pull. Wide pull times 2. As she gets to her backhand, stick gets popped by Zwang. Centering attempt off the Vapors. Doesn't need a lot of runway to go. And I didn't see a lot of coverage in the slot, so I lead to a goal. Sydney Christian comes down, tells Ari, it's all good, we got you. And don't run to the bathroom here because the quick to strike back Minnesota girls black are on the attack as Zins goes back to center. The Western coach is having a conversation with the refs. He said, I think he's trying to claim that his player was slashed during the last goal. This guy's a bit of a character, as we've seen so far, but you're going to call a timeout or you're not. Get the EMTs over and all that, but McDonough is supposed to get the puck in play and quickly sent the other way. That is going to be an icing. So with 4 minutes left, we're going to have a draw to the Western Selects goalies right on the near hash. Emmy Donahue. Zins takes the draw with McDonough. Western wins the draw.
Scoring for Western Select.
But Bundy wins it back.
Bryn Haas, assisted by number 11, Talia Holtzman.
So it's Bryn Haas from Hospian as Bundy tries to play behind the cage. She gets pinned. Emmy tries to fish it out. McDonough's on the near wall, or on the near post, I should say, as the girls are packed in. Christian gains a puck at the blue line and just dumps it back in deep. Emmy Donahue's going to pull backhand to forehand. Centering attempt for Maeve McDonough's gathered by Christian. A quick low putback is blocked wide. It's Christian again down by the goal line. We got to get back here, ladies. It's Christian with the back check. She outlasts Zwang. Christian turns up ice. She sees Emmy Donahue. Nice forehand-to-forehand connection. The puck is sent deep. We're under 3 minutes in the game. Christian down back and no defense. Kind of a slow change from Minnesota. Comes in on Lee and wins the puck, if only momentarily. Now it's Lee in the corner. She plays low. Hardwick peels it with a backhand, and the puck is centered. Christian next back. And Volker's pass was intercepted and pushed back. The Minnesota getting a little long in this shift as Christian plays to Prosser. Prosser centers. Interference is not called as Christian pins a Western player. The Western coach is kind of funny. He's doing what we call joysticking, where he's saying everything the girls should do as they're doing it. But you could maybe do well to focus on the girls on the bench more than the girls on the ice, as they have enough decisions to make. Oh, long shot. Ari is quick to respond with the right leg pad. Steers it to the near side. So Minnesota really needs to get this thing down the field, as they've been held up here pretty well by Western. Western quarterback, Ma in the pocket. She rolls out. She's instructed to skate as she carries in with a nice hard low shot far side. And Minnesota is able to tie up and regain, as it's Stevens and Neuer. Stevens drags a leg as Neuer pulls a slip, but it's Talia to intercept. Nyberg holds the line. How much time is left in the second period, you might ask? 1 minute remaining in the period.
1 minute remaining in the second period. 1 minute.
Minnesota with a puck behind the net, as they've got 3 back, as Elena's and Preston are both kind of stepping back to cover for Bundy. Nyberg finds a little bit of room. Stevens tries to play to the middle. There's no one there. They're sending the Talia, and the stretch pass doesn't connect. So an adjustment that the girls are going to have to get used to. There are not a lot of teams throwing a Hail Mary, but they did here, and Ari smartly covers. So the faceoff will be to Ari's left side. Line change is made. Bundy and Christian out there. Preston, a very high percentage faceoff taker, will dig in at the dot. We've got Emmy Donahue, and the late arrival is Maeve McDonough. Mayave. Let's go. I think a face-off violation, as Western still had 6 players on the ice. Oh, I think they were trying to kick Preston because Maeve was late to the show. So Maeve wins the face-off. Take that. Ooh. A glass and out is held, as Western shows a lot of strength and skill. Their players are strong. Their players are fast. They're a well-balanced team. Oh, it's Bundy with a little board slip, but she's outlasted by Western. Centering attempt. Long shot blocked by Donahue. Oh my gosh. Defensive zone going to definitely need to improve here. A lot of forwards are looking for stretch passes. They should be looking to try and block these shots. So, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our current 2012 female elite all-star, Kayla, one of the best goalies in the tournament. Kayla, what do you think about the difference between the first period and the second period of this game?
Both of the teams were competing hard in the second versus the first. I think right off the bat, Minnesota had the gas, and now I think they're getting a little bit tired, but that's no problem. We got it.
Yeah, it's the second game of the day. It was the second period. It's 2-2. Who do you think is going to score the third goal for their team in this game? Which team, which player?
It's hard to say.
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot here.
I think I'm biased here. I think Piper Nyberg for Minnesota.
Piper Nyberg is going to score a goal, and she scored the game-winning goal against Machine Orange, and it was a really nice play. Yeah, it was. So I like the pick. It's almost third period starting. I apologize, a little glitchy. Past 2 players and pushes wide to Palmer Prosser. Number 9, Prosser's shot sent over behind the net to number 8, Zoe Neuer. Christian's down at the hash. She pushes it back to Neuer. Neuer tries to center. Volkers is there, but she's a step late because she's on the other side of the net, covering the back door. We have some options here. You got to take advantage. So a stretch pass for Hovspian, and she's outlasting some of our quickest players here. But Bundy proves why she's one of the fastest in the state of Minnesota. Dangerous play as pucks are played to the middle of the ice. Minnesota caught on a defensive zone change of centers, so the lack in defensive coverage is caused by a lot of mistakes here. It's costing us. So Minnesota in a very unfamiliar position, tied 2-2 in the third period. So my opinion with these close games and overtime type games is it's not about trying harder and doing more. It's about doing the little thing. And a glass and out finds Nolander, but she tries a pull back or a wide pull, and it's not working. But we still have numbers up. It's 3-on-2, and Preston tries to dump in. She follows up her dump in and holds the puck in the corner. A rim puck comes to Hardwick. A stanchion bounce comes to Preston. Preston chips to Stevens. Stevens gets disarmed by number 19, sorry, they do have some discrepancies in their roster. Hannah Gowdy has a purple helmet, and she's a standout player, if not only for that reason. Ariel Zwang carries up and plays in. Zins and Hardwick back on defense. Adriana Stevens on the near wall, gathers a puck. She throws a bouncing pass to Nolander. Elena Nolander from Lakeville with a wide pull, and she's able to get the puck deep. Coming in on defense, our Bundy, and Piper Nyberg joins the chat. She is the predicted goal scorer by our expert analyst from Maryland, Kayla Eden. Western coach provides some instruction as looks like number 5 is throwing elbows and haymakers. She's going to go to the box for dumping Stevens. So the penalty looks like it's going to be on number 5. She's disputing it. I'm guessing that's the coach's daughter. No surprise the coach is acting out of pocket.
Let's go, Black!
I believe the player who took the penalty is the player who they believe was victimized earlier, so maybe he's claiming retribution. But a cross-check's a cross-check. Minnesota with some personnel decisions here. Tell it to the judge, brother. Let's go. Western pulls off a very, very late line change. No, I don't think they're going to allow that. They're trying to sneak Tally out there, and I think they do. She's quietly sneaking down the wall. So they do end up getting the line change.
Let's go! Come on!
This guy always making a mockery of the game of hockey. What a club. Face-off win by Preston to Newer. Power play for Minnesota here. They lose a player, and a long shot gets tipped. The rebound was loose in front, but McDonough plays back over to... Long shot by McDonough. Hits the skates of Zwang and Donahue and sails aside. We got to make them pay here, ladies. Long shot by Bundy. Gloved aside by Zwang. Zwang fires one at her favorite coach.
Let's go, Zoe!
So this power play line here it's got to be really smart with what they're doing as they gave up a breakaway the last time. Long shot, tipped and still wide. So Evelyn Volkers from Elk River passes a long pass to Bundy. Bundy's confronted by Wu, keeps the zone, but Western plays it back into the Minnesota zone. So just a one-touch backhand pass out of the reach of Newer, and it's gathered by Preston. Handles it up the ice. Preston's building some speed as she holds up at the blue line. Tries to put a shot on net, but it goes into the legs of the defenseman. Newer tries to play it down to Preston. Minnesota having a very hard time on the power play today. As Hardwick comes out, and now Nyberg. So Hardwick and Nyberg are back. Maeve is still there. Prosser and Volkers go. Nyberg's got speed. and she tries to send one up the middle, but McDonough is not able to handle it, but Nolander provides some pressure. Piper Nyberg plays one over to Stevens. She can't get the handle. And we're offside, so they get another chance to play it over to the silent assassin, Talia.
Western selects full strike.
The power play is over. Some shot attempts, but no quality chances created. Really got to try to make them pay when they're taking liberties on us. Stevens picks up a puck. And Gowdy steps in the way. Wide pull poke by McDonough, and Gowdy again picks it up. She plays it to Talia. Bouncing puck, but Ari's on top of things. So Christian and Bundy come in. And it looks like it's going to be Zoe, Emmy Donahue, and Maeve McDonough. So Mavis, Amelia, and Zoe. Again, the coach from Western is taking his 4th time out of the game. These delay tactics are just not really in keeping with the fairness of the game. I mean, it didn't really bother me that much, but seems to be disrupting the momentum of the game. As Minnesota comes in with a nice exit strategy that was picked up by Maeve and over to Donahue. Christian is the lone back as Bundy is in the play. A turning play, but the zone is held, if only for at the shallowest level where Bump picks up. She rims a puck where Christian goes backhand, forehand, and tries to play it across the ice, and Donahue picks it up. So Donahue and Zoe with Bundy over the top. Maeve McDonough trying to find a soft spot in front. Zoe fires over to Christian. Christian pulls and throws to the back door, but Donahue's tied up. Emmy Donahue plays to Bundy. Bundy was coming at her. So a little miscommunication here. This is looking more like a power play right now. As Zoe, back to Donahue. Back to Zoe. They're opening up the slot. An errant pass by Newer. Can't find our shooter. And Bundy's there. Bundy's instructed to go. Oh, throws a pass into the skates of Filson. And it's Volkers. Snapshot by Volkers, blocker to side by Western. 8.5 minutes left in the game. Christian comes in with a pinch, and Ma pulls to the backhand, but can't get a shot on goal. Preston gathers up the loose change and tries to run it up the wall, and she's able to chip it into the offensive zone for Minnesota. Zlong with some nice skating. She's been probably the best puck carrier for Minnesota. Very, very out of sorts for Minnesota. A team that really doesn't play in their D zone too much. But guys got to crack the whiteboard out. Remind everyone about their responsibilities in the D zone, because this is going to be costly. So again, we're tied 2-2, halfway through the third period. Shots are at a premium. Any shot is a good shot. Western has done well to block shots, but if Minnesota can keep getting pucks to the net, a puck that gets blocked and stays in front of the net can be a very dangerous puck, as Zins is stripped by Filson. Filson plays back to Lee, to the other Filson.
Let's go, Zoe.
Zoe picks up speed. Zoe cuts to slip, stick the side by the defenseman, and taken down without the puck is Zoe Newer. So she's slow to get up and slow to get back.
Here you go, Zoe. Here you go, Brandon.
Zoe's kind of hanging behind the D, maybe waiting for a pass, but now she's going to change. So it's Preston and Donahue, but there's the middle of the ice is an area that needs to be protected. Donahue forwards one up to Addie Preston. Addie hits the brakes and is relieved of her duties. Played up to Filson. The defense from Western is a strong set of defense that don't let them get away with a lot. It's Donahue picks up a puck and skates across the ice. She goes into protection mode, but can't fend off an attack by Talia. Kick pass behind the net where Bump sends it back. Hardwick on a pinch, but the play is out to center where Piper Nyberg is going to try and engineer something. Long pass to Donahue on the near side for us. Emmy started off the party with a hard high shot that through a screen as Newer picks up. She's at center. She's got a rolling puck. She's still able to handle it past Talia and Gowdy. She's now cutting to the middle. Tries to set up a wraparound. There's no one there. Minnesota's changing all their players. Backdoor pass from Volkers to Newer. She can't get the handle. Puck has tried an attempt to Prosser. Now Hardwick leans back and fires a fadeaway. It's going to be Talia and Christian to handle this one. Christian gets the inside play. And the puck is iced by Western. So this is going to set up at 44 in the third, 2-2. So Christian is going to stay. Bundy replaces Hardwick. Zins is going to center Nolander and Stevens.
Go Black!
So we've got left-handed shooters stacked. We play over to the right-hander on the left. Bundy's shot is blocked. Played to the middle. Bundy sends it up to Stevens. Stevens tries to play it in deep, but she's stopped about 10 feet inside the blue line. Stevens pushes one out of the zone. Bundy plays back to Christian. Christian's got some time. Christian plays off the Filson stick check, peels back, and the touch pass by Nolander is off target. And the backhand pass by Zins is also a little bit off, but they're keeping possession, they're making some plays. Zins, we need to find a shooter here. We've got our defense open at the point. It's Bundy. Bundy, the right-handed speedster from Lakeville, fires one down the wall, and a bounce pass comes to Nolander. Nolander to Stevens. Stevens loses her footing as she shoots, and it's saved by the goalie. Long shot. Through, it's a goal! So, long shot from the blue line. Number 2. What's he gonna do? Sydney Christian! Oh yeah, 3:44 in the third. Long shot from the blue line from Christian.
Let's go, Sid!
Reminiscent of the championship game in Las Vegas where Sydney scored the third goal of the game from the blue line.
She was gonna literally be my second favorite.
Kayla says that she was a close second. But you had the team right, Kayla. You had the team right. As Minnesota takes a 3-2 lead, they've got to lock down the defensive zone. Winner of this game will play the man.
This is number 96, Bridget Bundy.
So, Bundy from Christian proved that they not like us, and that's kind of a reference to the West Coast. So, I think the Western coach is hoping he still has a timeout left, even though he's used 3. And the faceoff's going to come all the way back to the Minnesota zone off an icing infraction. 3:15 left. Zoe Newer takes the draw. We've got Newer and Preston out. We've got 2 players chasing out to the blue line. Piper Nyberg comes up. It's a 3-on-2 the other way. Piper sails a backhand sauce out of the reach of Newer. Newer's going to hold it smartly. She gets pressed to the ground, juiced, as Nyberg gets stood up. Preston has the puck. She holds. She fires cross ice for Hardwick. Hardwick's got a little room with under 3 minutes. Her long shot from the spot where Sydney aced one through the wickets sails into a
Yeah, Zoe!
of our Western Selects goaltender, and that's Austin Kosminka. She's had a heck of a game. Minnesota calls a timeout here to rest their players. They've been running some hot hands. They've been changing lineups for power plays. Important for the girls to sit down, get some water, get some rest. The Western guy says, I got a clipboard. He's upset about something. That's not surprising, but Let's focus on the cooler heads as Jay Hardwick leads the talk here. I know the girls have really appreciated a lot of the insight and knowledge that Coach Jay brings all the way down from Hockey Town. Vince has got his board out. Some adjustments you make in a one-goal game. No penalties. Absolutely no penalties are allowed. Hit the net. You can't miss the net in a one-goal game. And for Minnesota, this is going to be a hard one, but no pinching. You don't need to pinch right now. You can absorb the 3-on-2s. You can back check the middle. Minnesota, a team that makes a lot of their hay canceling breakouts with pitches with some defense that are extremely offensive. So what's Western going to do? I'm guessing they're going to try and get the puck to number 11. Although I will say today I've been very impressed with number 67. So Minnesota loads up here. They're going to give some final instruction to Zoe. And it looks like Addie Preston is going to be on the far wing. Zoe Newer is going to take the face-off. Emmy Donahue on the near side, and it's Bundy and Christian. As the puck is played back, Ariel Zwang. She's a strong puck carrier. She's done well to gain the zone, probably creating the most controlled entries for Western. Western's centering attempt gets poked out by Newer, picked up by Talia. Long shot wide, Ari sticks aside. Christian picks it up. She's going to possess as they try to cut her off. And she's going to play a soft puck up to Emmy Donahue, who's able to bounce out. So any out is a breakout right now as we're under 2 minutes in the third period. Christian with a pinch. And makes that play up to Preston. Preston in a bit of a sword fight as Christian holds the line. Puck sails out, and it's Donahue with a fun little funhouse mirror glassing in. Donahue the only forechecker as the puck sails to the far side of the ice. Chipped up by Newer. And Talia Hovspian catches a minor body check. Western pressed out wide. It's a long fluttering shot. All right, you're a different dude.
I'm winning, so I would put pressure automatically on them.
Okay.
Because once there's pressure, we're just panicking.
So maybe push the draw.
Yeah,
you know
push the
she's
draw.
trying to win it back.
Yeah.
Push the draw. We all know what's going to happen. I like that. That's a good strategy.
6-on-5 too.
Yeah, it's going to be 6-on-5. So Minnesota puts 2 on the puck. You put 3.
Yeah.
Minnesota puts 3 on the puck. You put 4.
We put 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We're
So.
gonna be man up.
And you want your players to hound for that puck, don't you? Yeah.
Be a dog. Like,
Get the dog. So you're gonna put your dogs out there.
Yeah.
You're gonna push the draw. You're gonna obviously have your most talented players out there. Yeah. There comes a time where these coaches need to kind of tip their hand and let everybody know, like, hey, this is what we got to do. This is who we got to have. So 1 minute, 20 seconds left. We'll see if Kayla's right. Looks like Zoe Newer is going to take the draw. They leave their goal in. Austin Kuzminka stays in for now. I'm a little confused, but she's going to take the draw. She wins it back. Well done, Addie. Glass and out for Minnesota, and Preston is in pursuit, but she loses the race to Zwang. Zwang, impressive today as she rims the puck within the reach of Donahue. Donahue plays back, says, let's make him go 200 feet. Go 200 feet is Zwang's specialty, but Donahue disarms her.
1 minute.
Preston and Donahue are both standing together, could have thrown a hula hoop around them. Something tells me that was not the play. But Donahue back checks hard to the middle. Very impressive play. We are under a minute left here as Emmy Donahue sends the puck all the way down the ice. The Western goalie has gone missing. Oh, there she is. So this game is coming off the rails like a crazy train, but Minnesota is just holding on by the skin of their teeth. Hardwick and Bundy are out. Ari Gracia in net. Elena Nolander comes in. Addie Preston wins the draw, and they try to glass it out, but number 5, a glass or a board bounce, excuse me. I feel like I've been talking for an hour straight. Icing is called, so Western's goalie is probably going to have to come back into the play. and they're going to have some personnel decisions to make, but they can take as long as they want. They got a handful of teenagers running the clock, and they've been up in their heads. They saved this AC/DC for the end. I love it. So face off by Preston. They tie up. Nolander tries to play to the middle where Newer chips it back. We got to stay over the top here. This is not a 2 on the puck situation as Minnesota's forecheck gets outlasted, but Hardwick, the safety net, glasses it back in from neutral. Picked up by number 5. There's 3 seconds left in this game. We're calling that a big W here, ladies and gentlemen. And not a come from behind victory. Some of the Minnesota fans want to see this thing through. They want time back on the clock, but that's it. It's a wrap. It's a final. So Minnesota Black comes out with a early goal, high hard shot from Donahue through a screen, and Sidney Christian comes through with a late goal. It's a long shot from the blue line, which has eyes for the back of the net. So, Brinley Bundy picks up 2 assists in this game. She's your player of the game. And Talia Hofspian is the player of the game for Western, as Western Selects are going to be playing for 3rd place against the Aurora Spartans, who you saw on Thursday night. And the Team Minnesota Girls Black National League are going to face Manitoba, which will be a rematch of a game that was played last in Las Vegas in the opening round of pool play. So fun to get the Canadians and the Minnesotans together for the championship game of the North American Female Elite. It's getting a little late tonight, so everybody drive safe. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
11? Is that what time it is?